Hello, welcome to my Patreon. Thank you so much for signing up. I am making this little thank you video, it's April of 2019 right now, as a way to give you a little bit of an orientation. You'll get enough information in your thank you letter as well. But those of you who are wanting to use this as an opportunity for self-growth, whether it's to learn astrology or to just kind of like get the insight on how to use new moon cycles more constructively, I wanted to just like verbally talk you through what's going on here. So if you have joined just out of support for me and you're not planning on making big use of the incentives, thank you. Thank you. You don't need to listen to this if you don't want to. But for those of you who have joined because you're curious, or you want to learn more about astrology and yourself, I just wanted to like walk you through the way things work. So basically, as my Patreon has evolved, it has really made me get in touch with how passionate I am about giving people access to the same tools that I have. So that's not necessarily to say that this is geared towards, making you become an astrologer. I think that astrologers or people who do that work well do have, specific gifts in their ability to understand human psychology, synthesize and interpret the really complex symbolism of astrology. And that's not something that everyone can do, and that's something that does take, several years, many years, or a whole lifetime of practice. However, I think that anyone can learn how to use their chart as a tool, right? Or even if you're not astrologically minded, the things that I talk about in my writing and my videos are life themes that are relevant to anyone. I just use the language of astrology to kind of help break them down and describe them. So in your thank you letter, you're going to see a link to an article about self-generated new moon ritual, and that is a link that will be in every new moon guidance PDF that the $5 plus levels get. But that article will kind of talk you through an approach to ritual that is fun, accessible, and hopefully not overwhelming. All right, so for those of you who like written word or refreshers, that is the place to go for that. If you want your Astro PDF that's part of your membership, please do be sure to email me, amanda@aquarianspirals.com, to let me know your birthplace, date, and time. And that's regardless of whether you've had a session with me before. That'll give me the go-ahead to create that for you. And the reason that I include that PDF with everyone's membership is because it's kind of like a starting point, right? It gives you a copy of your chart. It gives you little blurbs about your sun, moon, and rising sign. And then it also lets you know what house and sign each of the planets are in your chart. Okay, so it's just a way to kind of get you oriented. And then as you keep learning, it's like layers of knowledge will overlap and you'll be able to bring it back to your chart. All levels of my Patreon campaign from $3 up get 25% off of any online class that I do. There might be exceptions to that down the road, but I don't foresee that happening. So the way that that will work is I'll make an announcement about an upcoming class, and then I will include a coupon code that you can use for that 25% off. $75 a month people, you get 35% a month off, and I'll send you those coupon codes separately. So I'm just going to talk you through the tiers now. $5 a month, you will get that $25 or 25% off. Plus, you're going to get new moon ritual guidance for every new moon. So the way that that works is usually within about 24 hours of the new moon, I will send out a PDF. That PDF is going to have other people's artwork. Sometimes it's my own. Usually it's other people's artwork that kind of gets at the emotional or intellectual content of the new moon. It's going to have details like where the new moon is, when it happens. It's going to give you a little blurb about the astrological weather along with an image of the chart. So for those of you who are learning astrology, that'll be helpful for that. And then it's going to give you some amplification tools. So open sentences, which is just like free writing prompts. suggestions for an altar. Again, the key here is that you can take my suggestions. You could Google things on the internet to find out about like ritual suggestions or whatever, but the key here is to have fun with it and to use it as an opportunity to learn something about yourself. All right, so new moon rituals are awesome because they happen every month, and so it's a little bit, more low stakes, right? You can just do it every month to learn about the archetypes, learn about yourself. $10 a month will get you all of that. Plus, you're going to have access to webinars. So my goal is to do at least 6 webinars a year. That is approximately every other month. And I'm honestly, I mess with the format of those because I think ideally speaking, I would like the webinars to be live events where people attend. And so then we have like y'all's buy-in and your questions. But so far that hasn't really worked in terms of scheduling. So sometimes I will do a live session and then send out the recording of it. Sometimes I just do a recording about a topic that I pick and then send it out. I'm always open to input about what you would like to learn about and hear about. I'm playing around right now with the idea of having this be a way to preview webinars that I'll do. So like $10 a month folks will get the first incarnation of it, and then I will take your advice and feedback, hone my skills, and then offer it as an online class. But I will be listing the dates and topics of those on the main page. Okay, so additionally, I do a monthly roundup every month that will go through like what you can expect and when you can expect it. $10 a month also gets you access to my secret personal writing. So when I'm writing personal narrative style about, how I use astrology and what's going on in my life, you'll get access to that too. I just ask for confidentiality. That's not stuff I'm sharing with the public, more or less. $20 a month folk, this is the level for people who are really wanting to like dive in. All right, so $20 a month, you get all the stuff we've already talked about, plus access to the Astro Circle in Seattle. That is for Seattle folks only. Those are typically 4th Tuesdays, but I will have a list of those dates in your monthly roundup as well as on the main page. You are given free reign to email me for specific questions. So these aren't as much like interpretive questions. I'm not going to give you an astrology reading over email. But if you're kind of like working something out and want to out loud process, or you have a question about your chart or a point in it, please feel free to email me. And then you get a 60-minute session with me every 6 months. That is up to you to track and book. The details for that will be included in a welcome letter that I will email you separately, so it's different than the general welcome you get when you immediately sign up on Patreon. You do need to, within about 30 days of that 6-month mark, I would, ask you to schedule it in that time. These sessions are for ongoing coaching. They can be for tarot reading, for dream work, questions about your chart. They're not really meant to take the place of, a full-blown astrology reading or a transit reading, because those are sessions that I do a lot of prep work for, and I'm not doing prep work for these. But feel free to email me if there's something specific that you're wanting to talk about or cover, and I'm happy to give you an answer about what we can cover there. And then $75 a month folks, wowzers, you get all that stuff plus a monthly one-on-one session with me, which again, the way that you can book that will be included in your welcome email. So, as always, I like to consider myself having, an open door policy. Email me. I'm at the point in my career where I can absolutely interact one-on-one with folks, and I'm happy to do that. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer than other times to respond, but I really want to share the magic of these ways of knowing with you, and so any ways that I can make it more clear, I'm happy to give that a try. So thanks again for subscribing. I will see you on the interwebs, perhaps in person, and just let me know if you have any questions.